Hello, Obit fans! Welcome back to the devlog updates. This is the third one in the series, and we're going to be talking about all the little things. I am joined here with the wonderful artist and co-creator, Imai.
Hello.
So, what do we mean by all the little things? Basically, whilst we've been publishing these polished posts, we have a lot of work-in-progress things in the background and small little update informations that we haven't been able to show you guys. So that's what it is. So, like always, we're going to be going over a recap, then we'll go over the story progression, which there's not much, then we'll be going over the in-engine stuff, the art progress, some of the music changes, which you probably have already heard about if you keep up with our posts, and the issues. Thankfully, we have no major issues this time.
Yay!
Then we'll follow on with the community posts. So this is just addressing the community and showing the art you've all submitted. So, since the last update, Imai made these amazing EBF profile pictures. We have Dot on the top left, Rookie and Clover on the top right. Then we have mad-looking Gary, Smug Herbert. He looks kind of smug.
Yeah.
And then just discontent guy.
They're all evil.
Well, not all of them. Rookie, Clover, and Dot aren't evil.
Yeah.
They're all evil, she says.
All of the EBF gang, all of the EBF staff members, I guess. They're all evil.
That's why they have the little logo, just to make sure people know
that
they're the baddies. We also posted the character card results video. We went into which was the favorite community, the favorite character card art, and overall, and all that jazz. And the winner was EBF Jetpack Guy. So I asked Imai to make him into a phone wallpaper. And we got these 3 different versions for you to use on your phone, and they look really cool.
I wonder if anyone is going to decipher the hex codes.
That is true. In the character card update, we did leak that these hex codes reveal a secret message, all secret lore. And I don't think people have actually deciphered it yet, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, great job, Nerp.
Thank you.
Some of the other things we posted were 3 other YouTube videos. The first one being the Icy Investigation song. This was a new format we were trying to use. I did make a 3D turnaround of the ice cave with interactivity, and that's what you can see in the blurred background. I just didn't have enough gameplay to stretch the entire full song, so last minute we chopped it up into being a looping thing. So that was unofficial anyway. That rotating room shouldn't have been shown off just yet. We will compile it and we will show you later. Similarly, we actually posted the town. The town, not looping turnaround, it was more of a back and forth bounce video. But this was in a work in progress stage, it wasn't fully complete. We have the fully complete one in these slides to show you. We felt it wasn't right making its own separate post with the 2-week gap we've got going on now, because it was just the 20% more extra progress that the room needed. And then the final video we released was the character cards in-game showcase, where Lox and I created the character card system and we polished it up to the point where it looked super cool and snazzy. Then, as a special treat for Halloween, I commissioned Imai to make some cool EBF costume designs. And we tasked the community with trying to guess who they were. We got Clover, Rookie, Gary, Guy, Dot, and Herbert, and Klutzy. And I really like these costumes. We tried to take in the character's personality and their lore context. Because obviously, you guys won't know the entire picture, but we wanted to try and incorporate some of it. So, Rookie and Clover, their whole dynamic is Clover wants to be in Rookie's hat. So, Clover being the Headless Horseman's head, and Rookie just being the Headless Horseman was kind of funny. Plus, the fact that Rookie's constantly on the run seemed fitting for the Headless Horseman. A scarecrow could have also been good. We just didn't think of it at the time, and someone guessed that there was a scarecrow afterwards, and I think that could have been a cool outfit. But how do you feel drawing all that hay?
I think I'd rather cry.
Then Gary's outfits and Guy's outfit. Guy is a cyborg. He's been rebuilt and stitched together, so Frankenstein or an amalgamation monster seemed completely fitting. And then obviously Gary's a scientist, And if Jetpack Guy is Frankenstein's monster, then Gary has to be Frankenstein. Then we come to Dot's outfit. She had to get changed, sadly. We thought it out. We didn't see there could have been an issue, but other people saw there could have been an issue. And now we understand. So we had to change it. We're sorry you don't get to see the cool original costume. Ema did a lot of cool references and works in there and Easter eggs. And we just didn't want to make Dot a generic witch, because it felt like a disservice, you know? She's got a whole unique character and personality and stuff like that. She's a fashionista, so she has to have a cool costume. And sadly, last minute, we had to just make her a witch to fit some of the tones and themes we were aiming for.
Considering I had to literally redraw the entire outfit in one day, I think I did okay with it. Obviously, I reused the pose and I kept Gary, the little Gary plush thingy, but I think I did well for having one day on it.
Yeah, and it was a day where I couldn't even give feedback as well, so I got shown the costume like everyone else. And I say you did a really good job. And then we move on to Pharaoh Herbert and Scarab Klutzy. After the situation with Dot, we were a little scared that Pharaoh Herbert would also need to be changed. However, Pharaoh costumes have been in Club Penguin before, and at the end of the day, it's just fashion. And then Scarab Klutzy, he's just cute. It's kind of hard to tell he's a scarab with the wings, but that is, we got references and stuff like that, and that is just how it should look. I do like the gold and black Pharaoh outfit, though.
Yeah.
Does make him just look instantly like a baddie. Also, I don't know why, but because of the shading on the little snack, looks like it's got lipstick. So yeah, which one's your favorite, Nerp?
I mean, I like both Pharaoh Herbert and Dot. Which Dot?
Mm-hmm. My favorite's just Rookie. My favorite's Rookie and Clover. Even though I want Rookie's eyes, Nerb. He just removed his eyes. He can't see.
Yeah, but you don't have a headless horseman who has eyes. They don't have a head.
It's a costume. Anyway. Great job on these, Nerb. Congratulations to all the people who did manage to guess them. There were quite a few of you. And hopefully you liked this. Maybe for Christmas or something, we should ask you, the community, what you think they should be wearing. We also got many asks and questions. These are only from Tumblr, sadly. I don't have access to the Blue Sky. However, I don't think anyone asked any questions on there anyway. And not many people have been using the Discord channel, if they even know about it. But yes, we got a lot of questions on Tumblr. I'm the only one who can answer on Tumblr, and so here is all the responses I gave. EBF Gary has done unspeakable things to my brain. I don't want to continue reading that one, because I understand that these are going to be on screen for you to read, though. I am a coward. What does the B in EBF stand for? Elite Bear Force. I've been cooking up some theories and predictions. We encourage theories and predictions. This is cool. Obviously, we can't tell you if it's correct or not, but it would be really cool to see what people think the story is going to go like and how characters are going to develop. But I got zero idea if any of them make sense, or if I'm reading too deeply into things. Don't worry about reading too deeply into things. We have spent like a full year dissecting Club Penguin lore and piecing things together and doing time travel shenanigans. We have thought way too deeply into things, so don't worry if you are. The character cards have references and Easter eggs, so does a lot of the other stuff we've posted. So read into things and speculate, and yeah, just show us your theories. If anything bad happens to Clover, I will cry. I don't know what pushed this person to say this.
Maybe they think something bad's going to happen to Clover. You know, it's a dystopian future. And I don't think most people will think anything good will happen to the penguins or Puffles there.
Yeah, they could just be thinking, oh, it's a bad future, something bad's going to happen to Clover. Or they could be thinking, I really like Clover. If anything bad happens, I'm going to cry. But you should always be prepared. We cannot confirm nor deny if anything bad's going to happen to Clover. Anyway. Hey, what happened to Paige Pufflehandler PH in Operation Back in Time? Is she even in the story? If you guys don't know who she is, then damn, she's forgotten. We do know who Paige is. We know a lot about Paige, and we know a lot about most of the mascots just because we've had to read into them so much. Like Antarctic not being green, Paige being pink and in the dojo, and Sensei building the dojo when Tusk was in the ice. The dojo didn't exist until after he was frozen, which caused a lot of confusion. So, yes, we know a lot about some of the mascots, especially around the time periods that we're looking into for the game. Paige is thought about. We have a backstory for her. in the EBF timeline. It's just the EBF timeline is still in flux. We want to focus on getting the demo out there before we go back to finalizing the EBF timeline and finalizing the script. But yes, we are wanting to make short stories on the side to show you vague hints of what the character could be doing. So yes, enough forgotten. So like I just said, the story is on hold. We're not going to look over the script just yet, or any of the EBF timeline or anything like that, because, you know, we could find, oh, in the EBF timeline, Rockhopper is still a big issue. He does this thing, which means that Herbert can't do this thing, which means that this thing never happens, and that's a massive knock-on effect, which then means we have to change the whole story again, right? And then, likewise in the script, we have a lot of sections where it's like, hey, here's the idea, we need to change this like this and do this. And we just never had time to get around to actually doing all those changes. And we revised the script, it feels like 10 times now. And it's a big script. So, yeah, it's still on hold. We're going to try and get the demo out. Once we get the demo done, I will then be able to go off and finish the script and stuff like that with Imai's help and guidance and, you know, feedback, whilst Imai unlocks and Hugo do all the art and get it implemented. But even when it's still on hold, we still have cool stuff happening. So the community here has come up with some cool ideas, like Easter eggs. So we have an Easter eggs channel, if you don't know, where you can put suggestions like visual suggestions or mechanic suggestions, just any kind of Easter egg or reference that's back to the original games. So Jaded Paws mentioned having a Herbert plush collectible, because there are those handhold plushies that are in Club Penguin for your player avatar, and this actually was a very funny idea. Immediately in my head, I'm thinking about what if the EBF released their own merch brand. You know, you've got like the Barbie doll thing where Barbie is just dressed up in different outfits. You've just got Herbert dressed up in different outfits. I think that's hilarious.
Or it could be something similar to like when in Operation Blackout, Herbert slapped his face on the catalog and over the penguins' faces.
Yeah. Thank God, that was funny. So yeah, he's not like afraid of shying away from the public. It's a really fun, cool idea, which we just never thought about. Also, Klutzy in his character art has a snipped penguin. You know, he has penguin plushies. So it could be funny as well that he has the like merchandise tests of these Herbert plushies, and they're all in mint condition. And then when fake battling with the penguins, he always ends up accidentally ripping them. Just sounds funny to me. Then in the general VCs that we have, we came up with a idea for what's currently codenamed Pizza Man. Basically a character who his whole goal is to just try and make bigger and bigger pizzas. And this throws off some of the EBF's monitoring systems, as they have systems in place where they try to detect gatherings of penguins because they don't want parties. So, a big pizza is a big heat source, which will flag up oh, there's a party happening in this igloo. So then the EBF goes and checks it, finds this big pizza maker, and they're like, okay, fine, just don't have any parties. Later down the line, some rebel groups start using this igloo as a hideout because it keeps throwing off the EBF sensors. So that's a really cool idea that we all came together in the voice chat with. We've got some cool plans for that character, which we'll get to later. So look forward to that. But it's not only the community that's getting hyped up with cool concepts and ideas. Some of the team members have actually been pitching some ideas. So Sai, our comic artist, has pitched that he wants to start making some community posts. He wants to do a little animation of maybe the time machine opening up, and then something will fly out of the time machine from the EBF timeline, which will reveal some lore to you guys. And that was a really cool idea. And it got us questioning, okay, what is some of the lore that we can push out there whilst having the timeline being in flux? And so it's going to be everything in the EBF timeline after Herbert's in power for now, because that is just our own canon. We can do whatever we want with that. Just know that there may be a time where we might have to retcon it later. But we'll definitely say, and we'll say up front, we're not like FNAF. We're not just going to be like, yes, we changed one thing, but good luck trying to find what it was. You know, we'll actually tell you what we have retconned and have changed. But we just cannot...
Freddy Fazbear really a bear?
I think he might be a Freddy P. Bear Esquire. Anyway, yeah, but you can't confirm nor deny any of your predictions. So I put a bullet point here, some secret ninja stuff. What are the ninjas doing in the EBF timeline? Those are some of the posts that will be slowly feeding out in these community posts that Sai wants to do. So we're still sticking to the game first, lore and stuff later. Sorry about that. Hopefully you don't mind. So, increase production. Like we said at the very beginning, we have some little information in the background that we just never have been able to tell you guys up front. And this is one of them. Lox actually managed to set up some quick and easy, and it's been reliable so far, version control for the engine using diversion. Basically, what version control is, it means that multiple people can work on the project at the same time. A rough explanation of what version control is basically multiple people can work in the engine on the project at the same time. They work on like snapshots of the project and then they can commit it to the main branch. So basically they can click save and then it'll get pushed to the main thing and it'll save for everybody. Then other people can say, hey, I want to get that saved version to work off of that instead. So they can save all their stuff, reload, and then commit theirs if need be. So this is really handy because it means that if we make a mistake, we can always jump back to a different version, a different snapshot of the project. It means that me and Lox have actually been able to work together at the same time, same with EMI hopping in engine as well. And it also means we don't have a million project files just duplicated on each other's drives. The reason this came about was actually because those projects were getting too bulky. We were using Git and we were just generally uploading and we hit the file limit size. So whilst I was busy and I couldn't really look into the version control, Lox took the initiative, went out and actually found this and set it all up. And I'm so thankful because I was kind of being stubborn. I was scared that version control was going to break the project. As my past experiences, seeing other people try and use like version control like GitHub, yes, it can be successful, but it's slightly tricky to set up and could break a lot of things. So, Imai, actually, seeing as you've never used version control, how easy would you say this diversion version control is?
I mean, I think it's pretty easy. You just gotta save and then press the commit button, type what you did, and press commit, and then boom, because we have that plugin for Unreal Engine 5.
Exactly. So you're like comfortable using it, right?
Yeah.
You're not like how I was in my last team project where I just didn't want to, I had to keep confirming with the coders, like, is this going to break anything? Is it not going to break anything? Is it fine? And so
I was paranoid.
I might be paranoid. I don't know. I've seen countless teams, like, their projects almost blow up over this thing to the point where they've accidentally missed deadlines. Like, that's scary, right? I don't want our data to be corrupted and, like, all the progress we've made to backtrack and then we can't remember how we did it.
Yeah.
So it's great that you have that comfort to be able to just commit stuff. And it means that if anyone else joins the team later on, they will also have that comfort, which is great. In addition, we actually did have some slight hiccups here and there between me and Lox, and diversion was really simple and easy on how to change some of it, to commit some of it. You just have to think about it a little bit to be like, okay, should I be the one that's pushing or pulling? And basically that's it. So I really am happy with that. I'm really thankful Lox did this. Then the roadmap. So as you've been looking at, this is the roadmap I've been trying to compile, and it's nowhere near complete. Everything is meant to have a slight drop down into it. We need to actually link them up into priority and what is blocking what. Like, oh, public playtest. We can't do that until we have all the mechanics in. So what is all the mechanics? Well, then all these things on the right, all those things need to be completed, the all base functions completed. Then need to set up who's going to be working on it, which Lox has already started doing as he's been using this to actually help himself with what he should be doing next. But this is all just the game and in-engine stuff. Obviously the art is heavily tied to most of this, so the art is fine. But the music and the community posts and script writing and stuff like that, they all still need to be updated onto this thing. So looking at this, I'll just explain how you're meant to look at it. Top to bottom, left to right. So the first screenshot at the top is the very last thing in the roadmap. So demo finished, demo patch. After that, we'll expand this roadmap to being the full game and DLC content like the April Fool's, Valentine's Day idea we've been having, or some other stuff like maybe seasonal missions. Who knows what we could come up with. But for now, it's just until the demo, and then obviously you're going to have a patch after the demo because you're going to have all those different PC specs and different people breaking the game, speedrunners. So if working your way down, you have demo finish, you have the Act 1, Chapter 2, the boss fight, you have NPCs refinement implementation, public playtest. So we are thinking about having a public playtest just to show you guys all the mechanics. Again, to think about, like, you guys all have different specs. Some of you are able to break the game way easier than others, like Imai's curse.
What do you mean?
Imai, you have a curse of just pressing the play button and suddenly the game is broken. You've done it in Splatoon. You've done it in Splatoon. You've done it in Celeste. You've done it in Security Breach. There is no game that you can touch which won't break. You broke my game that I made with my team in a way that no one else has. You just keep breaking things.
Sorry.
Honestly, instead of playtesting, we should just have you run the game 100 times over. But yes, we will be doing a playtest. Before the playtest, we want to actually implement the sounds and music and start creating on the art and expressions, because the test before that will be an in-house private mechanic test, which will just have rough debug textures everywhere, where we just test every mechanic is in and it's all fleshed out and it's all as close to final as can be. But then before this, we need the fonts in, we need the animations, the comics and cutscenes, the boss and event system, NPC dialogue. So these things have all not been started. But then we're moving on to the things we actually have been doing. So the room systems. I'm currently doing the room systems right now. You'll see the room video in a couple of slides. We have the HUD system, which has kind of been on pause since the last vlog update. The menu systems have been worked on by Lox. And then another thing that's helped production has been the bi-weekly posts. I'm so glad that Imai and some of the other team pitched that we should actually slow down the weekly posts and span it out, because we were just getting bogged down. We were just focusing too much on what's the next post instead of what do we need to do for the game. I didn't realize game production would be like this. I thought we would always have something to at least post on a weekly basis or bi-weekly basis, but we just don't. Nothing ever polished anyway. It seems that we've just hit the stage where it's building up, fixing, and refining, optimizing the systems we have. The only new created assets and stuff is coming from the art team, and I don't want to just keep putting pressure on that team. So that's why this update video is here, to show you all the work in progress stuff, to explain some of our views and aims, and hopefully you guys like it. So, menu progression. This video is basically just most of the stuff Lox has been doing and I've been helping with. And yeah, let's check it out. Hello, Obit fans! Welcome back to In-Engine. Today we're not going to be looking at any gameplay, we're actually going to be looking through the menus that Lox has been creating and that I've been supporting on, and we're going to be talking about what our aims have been and what we're going to try and do next. So, the main things have been in the extras menu. We have the work in progress, which hasn't got anything yet, because that's kind of a hard and complex system to do. Then we slap together a quick iteration on the credits, just so we can have a list of people that have helped us along the way. In case we release any prototypes or any demos, people can still get credited. So yeah, it's just a basic system. Just scrolls down, boots you back to the main menu. Maybe it should boot you to the extras menu. We have been thinking about adding images, or maybe changing it from a scroll down to a just fade in, fade out system. You can double click to make it go faster. Then we have the character cards, which there was already a YouTube video on. Basically, we're going to try and get everything to be this level of polish. That's why we did this kind of system, to show off how polished it could potentially get. Then we have the stamp system. So if you are familiar with Club Penguin, you'd instantly recognize the layout that we've got going on here. Basically, this will have like the tooltips of like, oh, this is an easy stamp, a hard stamp, you know, yada yada. Then we have characters, collectibles, story, and other. So we're going to have story stamps, which is basically just, oh, you completed Act 1, or you completed Act 2, you completed this ending, you completed that ending, right? Characters is, we've tried to take every character that's in the game, especially like EBF related, and we've tried assigning them like a little achievement. So I'm trying to think of one off the top of my head, without spoiling anything. Okay. I thought of one. We're going to hopefully try and build into the game a part where you can pet Clover. That is the only stamp I could think that is not revealing anything, or is not like something I want to keep hidden because it's like a cool thing. But this is a cool thing that you guys can actually look forward to. There will be a point in the game, hopefully, if we can code it, if I can code it, if anyone can code it, where you can pet Clover. And then we have collectibles. So this is actually, we have a collectible throughout the game, which is a ninja plush. This is because it was going to be the Rookie's propeller hat or a ninja plush. Rookie's propeller hat was just the thing we had idea 4 years ago. We changed it to ninja plush now because the fact that ninjas were popping up all around the beta and AS3. So we thought it was like a cool reference back to that. But also, you can hide a fully black plushie easier than you can hide a propeller hat. Plus, because they're ninja plushies, we could do the slight transparent thing that the ninja garbs have. And then we have others. It's just the miss category. Again, I don't want to spoil. But if we actually go in these categories, there's nothing really in here. Lox's cool neon, whatever that is, and then the text is bugging out. Holy. But as you can see, we have the category name, how many you've got unlocked, the little images that they have on the stamp pages, and then the stamps. We're using the upside down trapezoid shape because that's what Club Penguin Game Day used. I think that's what the EPF DS games used as well. Or they didn't have stamps at all. I don't think they had stamps at all. But I think we're using this because it's what we think it as is external games, right? So all the in-game stamps had all the the square and circular ones, the ovals for activities. But then the external third-party games had this shape. So that's what we're going to go with. Then we have story, which is kind of the same thing. This is Rookie, Rookie is Rookie. There you go, Rookie. They got collectible. You're a nerd, apparently. I have not seen these. Okay, I've seen these ones though. And then this is the one we're doing most testing on. We've actually got the grid laid out correctly. We still need some tweaking. Obviously, it needs a whole overhaul of polish. But yeah, so we've got just some real kind of bad looking descriptions, but we're gonna fix them up later. So yeah, after the stamps, we have the comic system. Now this system is pretty bare bones. This is what Lox is working on currently. And so we have our 2 pages, and what we're trying to do is we're trying to add modular panels to get placed on the page accurately. This is kind of difficult, and trying to think of how to do it procedurally and efficiently is kind of hard. Lox tried with a non-uniform grid, but the main issue with that is the fact that panels can't overlap with each other. So, when you have a diagonal cut within a comic, those would break. So instead, we've pushed forward, just trying to hard code it in, kinda. Basically, we will put the values of the X and Y positioning into a data table. So it'll lay it out correctly per comic. Hopefully, that doesn't break. Because if something's off by 10 pixels to the left, then how does the engine can't fix it itself? So we have buttons down here to change the page number. It doesn't actually change the page, it's just upping the numbers currently. And then we have a system where we can click to spawn the first panel. This is a debug image. This is from the phone UI. Basically, this is panel 1. And then when we click again, it goes to a secondary animation of that panel. This might be confusing. It probably is. Later in the slides, we actually see size comic, and that actually shows you how it's going to work. Going back to the main menu and then into the options, we actually have some settings UI. This is just a quick mock-up. The settings haven't actually been integrated yet, but we have the language drop-downs, which don't do anything. To reset all settings being here, you can go into the video, and you have sliders, which are very teeny tiny. We need to fix that. And then VSync toggle, sound, accessibility. We have a lot of options which may not get into the final game because they may not be needed. I just went kind of crazy in concepting what options we could possibly have. And the concepted UI for this will be shown in the slides as well. So, thinking about 3D, or whatever the bullet point says, basically, everything here has been 2D widgets, and they've been kind of hard to make. If I go into the character cards, This system, this polishing, was kind of tedious because a lot of the things I've learned how to do within the 3D environment of the engine can't actually be done with these 2D widgets, which is a little frustrating, and it's why I didn't get the snapping that I wanted to do. Like, the free scroll is nice for some people. I just wanted to see if I could make the snapping, and it was convoluted. But in addition to that, it would be cool if the background was like pushed back and the cards could actually like rotate on a 3D swivel. Making a 3D card template will be pretty simple. But it's not just the character cards. That's just an example of why we started thinking about it like this. But it's also this main menu. We've tried concepting multiple times what the main menu should be. Should it be a slideshow of images? Should it be the image of your last save? Should it be just one massive big splash art like what this currently is, but of all the EBF cast? And then that's a lot of pressure on the artists, and there might be a time where we just don't like it anymore. So instead, I'm thankful we started thinking about 3D, because then we took inspiration from the 3DS, the home menu HUD system. So basically, I'll try and add it on screen in the video, but basically, they have this like 3D environment. It creates like dioramas, which is overly complex. We're not going to be doing that. If we were a AAA company, that's what we would do. But instead, we're going to focus on the small little rotating icons that they have. So let's like, imagine this. So on the play, when you hover it, it'll like do this big splash screen thing. Maybe it'll be your last save. Maybe it'll just be a big splash. Then when you hover options, it'll go back to the EPF gridded background in like a spherical shape or something, where it'll rotate like a cog or a gear icon. Then like the extras will rotate like a file icon or an archive icon. Then we go in here, the behind the scenes, maybe it's just like a couple of image of some sketches, maybe one's like some of the in-engine stuff, just a little preview. Credits, I honestly don't know. Maybe you just hover this and the credits just start playing. Who knows? Character cards, you just have a blank character card template up there. Stamps, blank stamp up there. Comics, a blank comic book. So I think that's a cool idea, and it'll hopefully flesh out and polish up most of the menus. It doesn't mean we need to have the comic be 3D. I think that would be a waste of time. Same with the stamps. I don't think the stamps need to be 3D at all. Character cards could potentially be 3D. Credits, no point. I don't know what we're doing with credits. And then behind the scenes, probably not as well. So that is everything for the menus. Hopefully you've enjoyed this little preview, and are looking forward to the next one. Thank you, Past Me, and thanks, Past Emai, for recording her 3DS. Very, very nice reference. Hopefully you guys like the fact that we've split this video into two to try and streamline it with the slides a bit more. If you don't like it, comment down below and we'll try and adjust. However, you're moving back on to Past Me again, because now we'll be talking about rooms being like onions, because they have layers. Do you hate me?
Onions, they have layers.
They're like onions and like ogres. They now have layers. They have parallaxing, bonus feature, feeds into efficiency, recreation, data table, modularity, and efficiency and clarity. And Past Me will explain all of that. So back to Past Me. Hello again, Obit fans. I know you're getting sick of my voice, but we're in Engine again to talk about the things that I've been doing whilst Lox was doing all those menus. So, parallaxing. This was a feature that we weren't going to have. It was a bonus feature. It was a feature that we weren't supposed to focus on, but we kind of tried it out anyway. So, parallaxing, for those that you don't know, is when things further away move slower than things in front. You can see things behind each other. That's what parallaxing is. So as an example, we will go into Emai's parallax testing box, where if we hit play, you should be able to see that things look a little bit different. Because as you can see, the ski hill is moving independently from these trees that are in the foreground. So that is basically parallaxing. So we initially tested and tried out this feature, and it looked super cool. Most of us were wanting to have it, and I did a test with the ice cave, as you've previously seen on YouTube and stuff, where it didn't work. Some of the I think it was the foreground. Some of the foreground elements weren't properly keeping aligned with the sides of the room, like as you can see here, right? So you could almost see that this could poke out from the side and then cause issues, especially if it's looping, because then you have two trees that are blending over each other. So that was the issue. And I was actually going to tell that to you guys, the community. We were going to make a Saturday post about it. We were going to make a YouTube video about it. And when I went to do that video, it was just working. The parallax was just working. There was no issues anymore. And I don't know how I set it up differently or anything like that, but the parallax was working fine. So it's now a feature that's on the table and it's what we're striving for. So this is kind of how it works. We have multiple different layers. And yes, the town is broken up like this because it's broken up into animations as well as. And there we go. We have the different snow layers. So if I drag this down here, you can see we just got a couple of trees. I don't know why it's cut like that. And then we've got some snow mounds. And then we've got the actual background with the ice rink and some of the mountains. Can we actually drag this down? Okay, and that's just the sky. Okay. So those are the parallaxing layers, and hopefully this can go back and EMI won't kill me. Okay, good as new. No one touched it. So that's how we're achieving it. It's similar to, or is the same as, Ori and the Blind Forest and Hollow Knight. They do the same thing. They're in a 3D engine, yet they have different layers where they can create parallaxing. So how does this fit in to the fact that the level is now broken? And that is because in adding these new features and remaking the room, it decided to explode midway. The room system was the first thing I ever coded. I didn't really do much coding in Unreal prior to this. So I am a 3D artist. I did not do much of this. So after doing a lot of the code, like the phone, the HUD, helping locks with the menus, doing the interactables and all of that, I've now learned that the room code was very unoptimized. And it had a fatal flaw. That was this variable, this room map variable. How the room system used to work was you input your selected room, like the dock or the town or the ski hill. From that, it tries to find the data, as it says, set and apply room settings. So it'll look in this map, which exploded and deleted all its values, so we didn't have any values anymore for that selected name, and then we'll get the data. So, if I put dock full and I put loopable, and I'm just going to leave it as that because these are two new variables that we made for the parallaxing. So I'm just going to leave those as B. And let's just plug this back in. If I compile, as you can see, the ski hill completely broke because the ski hill is no longer existent, and so did the town. But the dock got updated with this new image. Also, what is that? Why is there a Gary back here? Oh, NPC. Oh, I guess I was working on the NPCs before doing all this. He can get deleted. Anyway, here we have the dock system. So if we can go in here, we can actually see the new dock image that EMI has made. I can't remember if Hugo also helped. I think I'm just going to credit both EMI and Hugo. But as you can see, we got the looping back. So the looping system works again. But this is not stable. There could be times where the game bugs out and deletes the code anyway. There could be times where I'm editing the code and it just deletes it, like what happened. There could be times EMI and Locks are trying to build a new room and then something breaks and then all of the rooms break. Because it's not just this one, it's all of them. All of them broke. So that is why data tables exist. And that is why the item list has a data table. All the items are in here as a data, so that then they could be extracted from here and used within the game, and it's stable. Because data tables cannot be changed at runtime. That's their whole pro and con, but it's more of a pro because if you're using it like that and you want it to be changed, just make a variable. Anyway, I'm not an expert. I don't know if this is completely safe and stable. I just know it's more stable than that variable. So that's why we're doing it. Plus, it's easier. It's easier to just open up a data table and be like, oh, here's the dock, here's the town, the Ice Cave HQ. Let's add another one. Let's call this the Secret Land. However, I don't think it can have spaces. There we go. We've just created the Secret Land. The image shall be, I don't know, the boat. Right? We'll look back at this later. So that is why this system doesn't work. Which is why I then compiled all of this system into a new one to make it more refined and better. So this is the same code as this, but as you can see, it looks way different. It's way more compact, it's way more streamlined. You can see it better with more comments. You can see these are all doing the same thing. If you go in here, you can see that kind of structure that's going on there. So let's actually show you the new system working. Don't save this level. So here's my play area, or my test box, or sandbox, whatever you want to call it, where I work with the parallaxing. And as you can see, Sicilium, there's no parallaxing, bro. There's only one layer. What's happening? Basically, because these are modular, because we can go in here and then just pull one out and set it to whatever, like, I don't know, the Secret Land. Oh, it's not loopable. Hold on. Let's make it loopable. Secret Land is loopable. There we go. Why did that not work? Why is it not multiple? Oh, there we go. Now it worked. Look at that. The Secret Land has new areas. Pog. Anyway. Yes. So as it's modular, you obviously want to include the other sprite layers differently. You don't want them all to just be in the engine at all times, clogging up the memory. Plus, there are some issues with Unreal when you're creating things and deleting them whilst editing the engine. You want it so that when you press play, they all spawn, and then when you press stop, they all delete. So, here you go. Here's the parallaxing layers. So here, and this is all modular. If I pull out another one, and it's already set to the dock because that's the default, I push it back, and then I press play. Oh, no, not like that, sorry. If I simulate, as you can see, they both get the same parallaxing layers, completely independent of each other. Which is great, because this means that the artists, or like Locks or me, are not going to have to come in and make the layers every single time, as well as the like animating ones. We don't have to do this. But as you can see, we don't have the boat, or the rubber rings, or the exits, because those are interactables, and that is the features that I'm currently trying to tackle. I'm currently trying to convert the interactable system being from just a drag and drop, do all the settings here, to being, spawn friendly. So that is basically it. That's what the parallaxing is. I can show you how the new dock would look. I can't click on anything, sadly, but this is how it would look. We need to change the water a bit to make sure that that looks better, but this is why EMI has that parallaxing test box over in that other level. And that is basically it. We hope you like the parallaxing. We hope you're not upset that the game might take longer. Well, I say might take longer. It's definitely going to take longer now that parallaxing exists, especially for the artists, especially for bug testing. But without the parallaxing working, and without the push from the other team members being like, we want it in, I wouldn't have done this system. I wouldn't have been able to create the supporting sprites to then push that into the interactables, so that then the artist can just whip out a room, it be fully there, and then all they have to do is go, okay, now I just need a new pickup, because that's unique to this part of the story, and that's it. So it's a weird one, because it's definitely going to make creating things longer, but when implementing things, it's going to make it shorter. So yeah, that is the parallaxing system. Thank you for watching, and enjoy the rest of the slides. Damn, there's something about that Sicilian guy, isn't there? He's kind of great, huh?
No.
No? Oh, how dare you? But anyway, Imai, you were the main pusher of parallaxing, weren't you?
Yeah. I always thought parallaxing would be like a natural upgrade to the normal PSA missions.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it is, right? It makes us feel more modern. It makes us feel like an improvement, right?
Yeah.
And it is cool. It's just Hugo now hates us. And you have to do a lot more art now as well. But it's fine and it's cool. And we are thinking about maybe reusing some of the parallaxing layers for a later area. And hopefully it works. Now, we move on to art and animations. Here it is. Here's the fully rendered town video. We didn't want to, like I said previously, we didn't want to make it a separate post. It didn't feel worthy enough. But here it is. Look at all the cool animations. And the treacherous flags that Imai hand animated.
I just had to smoothly do one wavy line, then copy it, edit, change the starting frame, and then it just worked.
Yeah. I mean, it's still a lot of work, though.
Yeah.
You got all these reflections, which all the lighting is going to be a pain to get an engine. Because that's another thing as well when we're thinking about the parallaxing. Because they're different layers, the lighting and animation changes are going to have to be separated from the rooms to make the images smaller and more efficient on runtime and memory. Because we don't want to just have animation frames of the entire room, because that would just be really inefficient. And especially, what about when two animations are blending? Like these spotlights you have here. As you can see, they're moving independently, but also the door could open, this door could open, that door could open. So having a full room animating would just not work. You need to split up the animations, but then if something's glowing, how do you, do all the lighting, all the shading? We're thinking about blending modes and looking into that, but it might not match most of the art style in some places. And post-processing is also another thing for when we want drastic lighting changes, like in another room that will be shown soon. But then we have the gift shop. This is currently what Imai is working on. Look at that book cover. Let's have a look at that. Look at that book cover. You want to talk about what that book cover is?
So it's a new gen redraw of the very first catalog in the game, the August/September 2005 catalog.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the original artists were doing. They really, really loved the airbrush tool and making a lot of stuff blurry, but it is basically the same idea. It's just a penguin on a tube, just with their arms up and with a really happy expression.
Mm-hmm.
So I just mimic that.
Yeah. Like, we did have to change the colors a little bit just to make the text more visible and to make a little bit more sense, because I think the water in the original was really dark, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and then that catalog will actually be a pop-up on screen when you click it, like the catalogs in the original game. However, most of the functionality has been cut back because this is a visual novel. We can't actually give you customizations. And that is why Imai has it opening up and doing this cool animation.
I think that animation is custom as well.
Mm-hmm.
Technically the doors are custom too, but that's the most custom because I never drawn a book opening before. At least with the cash register and the phone, it's pretty much a copy, frame by frame at least, of the one in the actual game. By the way, that staff door will not open in the game.
Oh yeah, and it just never opens, does it?
Yeah, it never opens. The reason I even animated it opening in the first place is because if you guys didn't know, the sports shop and the gift shop are the exact same room. They're just different colors. So the door in the gift shop won't open, but the door in the sports shop will open. So I thought I might as well just do the animation now so I don't have to do it later.
Does it also have the text office, or does it not? I can't remember.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't. Okay.
But I can just remove it as well.
Yeah, you just hide it.
Yeah.
And we also have this section, which relates actually back to the catalog, and is what we are just imagining the gift shop would have looked like when it was actually just first opening, with the first catalog being here. So yeah, super spy stuff. Even though spies, we theorized, didn't exist yet. What we're hoping for in our headcanon and our lore is that this is what inspired Antarctic and Gary to make the PSA.
Yeah, because the super spy stuff eventually gets moved to the fish book.
Hmm.
So that's probably so only spies could have them.
Yeah, Gary and
Super
Antarctic
agents.
bought out the entire stock.
Yeah.
The fish book, for those who don't know, is the PSA spy handbook that is shown when you actually go into the PSA room. We also have this rubber ring that looks very rendered.
Basically, the tube I already drew in the docks, so I just stole it and moved it here.
Yeah, that's basically it. And then you have the, what do you call this? The hell corner? What do you call this corner?
The torture corner.
The torture
No.
corner. That's it. Yes, it's still very un-PG, but yes, the torture corner, because of all the clothing and the torture towers that are here, that Imai just does not want to do because it's a lot of work.
Yeah, I
And
mean, I will do it. I'll just be whining about it.
yeah, that's just how art goes. We have these newly rendered penguin mannequins because they actually had
Yeah,
legs in the original one, right?
yeah. What was his name? Peter Wellerman. When he drew the penguins, he gave them legs, I guess.
Hmm.
And I thought, I wasn't sure if I should make them like exactly like the Peter Wellman penguins, or if I should make them like modernized penguins, but with like different eyes, so they don't look like they're dead or something.
Well, I think this is a good choice. Like, it's a nice blend between the two art styles. Plus, they kind of just look cool. Like, they do look more like mannequins. The body proportions are a bit strange, but you're just trying to stick to the canonical version a lot more.
Yeah.
Now, let's move on to the room that you are currently most working on. Is it finished? No, you have like
No.
some slight animations still, right?
Actually, I think I finished all the animations. It's really just the walls, the floor,
Well,
the ceiling, and like that one thing.
this
Yeah,
laser
but
animation
I
you
I
haven't finished.
literally finished those like just before we recorded.
I know, but I'm asking what's
Oh,
in
like
here
in this
compared to
video.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so there's two of those three lasers aren't fully animated, and I think that's like the only difference. And the lighting, the red lighting on the TV fades,
Right.
basically.
Yes, can anyone recognize this room just from looking around it like this? Iman Hugo did an amazing job on it. We have a little siren and a fuse box. The fuse box has nothing in it quite yet because we're not sure if we'll need anything in there. We got this little radar scanner thing, waveform going up
Receipt
and down.
printer.
Yeah, whatever this is. Honestly, we should have asked.
What's it called? A seismo detect? You know, the thing that like Gary had during Mysterious Tremors.
Yeah, it does look similar to that. It could be that, but it still looks very very strange. We got certain
Yeah,
characters, seating area, and pet area.
I only animated that laser one way because it's only going to be played one way. It's not going to turn back on. It's only going to be turning off. So that's why
Hmm.
it looks wonky like that.
And by the way, when people do watch this video, when we do finish it and release it onto YouTube, there will be slight clipping here, and that's because the seam of the room is here. And so the door is there it is. The door is just not synced up with the animation, but it will be in game. So that's why you'll
Yeah,
see like it also like going adjacent. And then we have more waveforms and squigglies. And then we have this alarm bell and some sketch out over where the new door should look. So
yeah.
in the uploaded video, this should be fully done over here.
By the way, we literally had to look at references for the bell.
And then we got these little computer terminals that do like a little, yeah, on and off things that you can barely see.
At least you can see the laser.
But yeah, so this is what is this, the second original room?
Yeah, I think so.
The second original room with a lot of animations and really cool aspects. And we hope you look forward to actually exploring this space in the game when it gets to it.
Yeah, this room is so You probably won't see the room in this lighting. What I like to do is I like to shade everything in a neutral light first, and then I convert it to a darker, not darker, but like any other lighting that I need, because it's easier to convert colors if I shade it neutral first.
Yeah. So this lighting will change. And
Yeah,
because there's
I
alarms
think.
going off, there will be some red lighting that we're going to have to try and figure out how to make optimized.
Yeah, like for right now, this is like neutral daytime, but it will be night. It'll be like night or dark lighting when it's fully finished.
Mm-hmm. Also, we have this as well. Did we ever
Hmm.
find out what all these lines were about?
I think it's just blueprints or something.
I feel like I saw
Should I
this before somewhere. Was this when Herbert was doing the whole protobot thing? He was like running back and forth between the lighthouse and all the stuff. I don't know.
It might be actually. But then again, it looks really similar to the map that's used in the PSA mission.
The one that's like Secret of the Fur, where it's all the saucers and mayhem.
Yeah, yeah. It
Anyway,
does
it's
look
it's,
like
it's
that.
not it's not for this video. So, and then we have the comic art. So this is the comic art that you were given last update. Yes, there has been progress. Don't worry. We're not just showing the same thing again. So Sai has been cooking. He's been cooking a lot. And here is the almost fully rendered version. This is just a screen grab I took because I took it from Sai's video. This is how the comics will hopefully run and look in the game. We're not having animations per se. We're having keyframes, and then it'll go between them. So we got the snow falling, we got Herbert and Klutzy coming towards this contraption, and we got Herbert flipping a switch, and then some goopy, who knows what goop going through the pipes. We know what it is, but do we want to reveal it just yet? Who knows? So this is really cool. And this is why, like I said, in Lox's panel system, we have this diagonal cut here. And obviously that's going to be tricky to do. We have ones that go over two spaces. And this is what was meant by panels having different frames. This is an animated one, which I'm not sure how we're going to code in. But this big page over here, this is just, so we got image 1, then we've got, when did we get there? Image 2, image 3, image 4, image 5. And so that's what Lox is currently trying to code in. But it's not just this page that Sai's been doing. He's also been doing the next page, the one with Gary that we showed you last time. So we showed you all this, and you're gonna die, bruv. Then that has been colored and it's started to shade, and it looks really, really cool.
R.I.P. You gotta die, Rev. It has been
I think Sai
done.
is gonna die with the lighting, because we just realized that Sai basically has to redo all these shadows with the new lighting. Time instability monitoring equipment 3000. Is that what it said before? Oh, I did say that before. Okay. But yeah, great work, Sai. I'm betting everyone's looking forward to what happens next with these comics. Now on to the audio progress. So we have some sad and good news at the same time. But before we get into that, we'll just go through what we did in chronological order since the last update. We created a sound effects list. So we started to look at in the game and in the comics and started to compile a sound effects list. It's nowhere near done, and it's pretty rough, but it's fine. At least we started creating it. When recording and editing some of these videos, we salvaged or scavenged some sound effects. They may be completely unusable, but it's kind of funny to hear me or Imai accidentally make a click noise and isolate it, and then it sounds pretty good as UI. Then we have the issue of we can't find a good background song to go in these devlogs. We don't really understand the feel. We have the EBF, which are all these dark and broody and, dystopian thematics. Then we have the goofy nature of Club Penguin. Then we have the kind of laid back but still formal way in which we present these things. So honestly, finding background music for this is going to be a real challenge. And then we get to the sad news. Kuro has had too much on their plate recently. They've been doing a lot of other things with different projects. On the right is the post that I sent. And yeah, so they're sadly saying that they want to leave the project and just not work on it and focus on other things, which is completely fine and valid. There's no bad blood between us. Kuro can always join back when they want to, when they feel comfortable, and it would be great if they did, or if it doesn't matter if they didn't. We're just hoping they can do whatever they're doing and progress in life however they want to progress. So here are the things that Kuro managed to achieve whilst being with us. He created most of the covers for the songs. He made the EPF HQ. We haven't released it because we do want to go in and look at the instruments and try and tweak it up to something that sounds a little bit more familiar. Then we have the gift shop track, which we released it in one of the dev vlogs. We have got the gift shop work in progress. Once that is fully rendered, I will then compile Kuro's audio visualizer with the gift shop loop, and then we'll submit that onto YouTube, which goes to the next point of he helped create the visualizers. I struggled making the visualizer for the ICE investigation, so I actually had to ask Kuro, and Kuro actually made a visualizer that was really quick and easy to use. So without that visualizer, either I'll have to try and make it again, which was torture last time, or I might have to ask a new musician. And then we have the secret track, which we obviously can't tell you, it's secret. So we're sad that Kuro's leaving, but we thank them for all the things they managed to do whilst on the project, and we hope that they can prosper in their music career. Which then moves on to a lighter note. When Kuro left, we started looking for connections we already knew, see if anyone would want to help out on the project as a musician. And Imai actually managed to get a hold of Dialga, which was crazy to me. And Dialga actually agreed to help out here and there. So we have got a new musician. If anyone doesn't know Dialga, they have been in the Club Penguin community for a long time. They have a lot of Club Penguin music knowledge. They don't want to class themselves as a Club Penguin music expert, but they have access to similar tools and some of the sounds that Club Penguin may have used or have used. And so, in that regard, it's going to be more helpful for the team, and hopefully, we can create some really cool tracks. Dialga also has a YouTube channel where they upload covers or OST songs, and so if you do want to check them out, go check them out, I guess. So, thank you, Imai, for having a massive network of connections.
You're welcome, I guess.
And we look forward to working with Dialga, and hopefully everything goes smoothly. Now, on to the issues. Even though I said there's no major issues, there are still some minor issues. The community event manager. Basically, we've been needing a role to be filled for ages now, and that is a community event manager. This person will help coordinate events for you guys, help put on events, and basically just interact with you guys. Do like the character card contest, do like stuff like live streams and stuff. Obviously, we will host some of them, but they will help manage and coordinate them and not push it to a side whilst everyone's busy working on the game. In addition to that, we also need someone to actually make this new blog or refine the blog we currently have, and we just haven't had time to really get to it. Then it's just been some sporadic, slow progression. So there's not been actual issues, it's just been life getting in the way. Windows 10 was dying, so I had to transfer. Imai was transferring. Imai's PC got a virus or a massive corruption. It was one of the scariest things I've ever seen. And she wasn't even on her PC. She just went out for a little bit. PC was just there chilling, and then suddenly she came back, and it was dead.
Yeah, I went out with my dad to eat food with him. Then we went to get Legends EA because it was like the release day. And then I came back, and then my computer reset on its own, I guess. And then the audio died. I tried accessing Device Manager. It said, you need administrator purposes, administrator permissions to access Device Manager. And I was like, bro, I am administrator, huh? And I couldn't click on anything. It was scary. I didn't really have a computer for like a week.
Yeah. Imai's audio device was not detected. It was said it's uninstalled. And then she didn't have access to any of the admin like terminals like Task Manager or Resource Manager and any of that. even though she was the only admin account, which was so strange. So anyway, Imai had to nuke her PC and install Windows 11. Thankfully, I was just taught how to install Windows 11 by Lox and Sai, so I was able to help Imai as well as Lox. Then Sai has been having tech issues on and off constantly. They're currently missing a graphics tablet, which really sucks. Hopefully they can get one soon. And then people have been finishing university projects, which has been really cool to see, and other projects like from CPPSs and stuff like that. Then we have just hospital appointments and external events. Basically, I've been in the hospital too many times this month, and it kind of sucks. Then the actual systems that some of us are working on are really getting complex. Like the room support layers is really boggling my brain. Lox is on a system now where he's getting stuck a lot, and it's complexing him because it's complexing me. So I can't even help him some of the times. But overall, it's been fine because the things that have helped are the bi-weekly posts. It's given us breathing room. It's actually helped a lot. The monthly meetings that we've been having. We now have monthly meetings and everyone gets up to speed. Everyone knows what they're doing. Everyone can voice any concerns they have, which there hasn't been for a while now. Yeah, it's just great. It's great to have a monthly meeting where we can all talk. It's where some of the amazing ideas from previous lives have actually come from. And then we've added a deadlines channel to our dev Discord, and we have the roadmap, which even though it's in shambles, it still helps. And then a lot of the previous management structure that we made during the other vlogs has actually started to be coming to play, like room lists and music lists and stuff like that. So it's actually given me and Imai a lot of time now to actually focus on the major parts of management and other parts of the game. And then we come to you, the community! The amazing, lovable community that's now 188 followers on Tumblr. I think it's 78 followers on Discord. And I don't know Blue Sky because I don't have access because I'm locked out.
Sorry.
It's fine. So, another bit of unfortunate news was we missed the 20th anniversary. This is completely my fault. With the Halloween post getting posted, I thought it was fine if we just skipped the anniversary because even though we are Club Penguin based, we don't want to be fully tied with Club Penguin. Obviously, we want to celebrate Club Penguin's anniversary, but we don't want to push it out like we're doing it as a marketing push. Like, oh yeah, happy anniversary. By the way, check out our project. That just feels scummy and disgusting. So we'll celebrate it in our own time and you know, happy anniversary Club Penguin. But then I didn't realize it was the 20th anniversary. That's like a bigger milestone than just, oh, the 18th or the 17th. I didn't realize it was the 20th anniversary and it was so big. So that's a bit unfortunate. I do wish we actually did something now. Yeah, it's completely on me. So sorry guys if you were expecting anything on sorry Club Penguin for, I don't know, not celebrating, honoring or... But you did something, right, Ima? You honored, like, so the anniversary? Didn't you make like a collaboration post or something?
Oh yeah. I did a collab piece with like a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. And there's the Club Penguin Bible that's been leaked now, which you've been using a lot to experiment with your art style, which is quite funny. And speaking of anniversaries, we have our own anniversary coming up. Obviously, this project is 4 years old, in the fact that we made the script 4 years ago. However, it's been a full year nearly of us working dedicatedly on the game.
It really doesn't feel like a year.
I know, it really just doesn't feel like a year. We just went to try and find when the anniversary date should be, and we decided that it should be the post where we put "We're back" on Tumblr. And apparently that is not December like I was thinking. Apparently that is actually the 27th of 11th, am I?
Yeah, the 27th of November.
The 27th of November, so pretty soon. And we have a major issue. We have no idea what we're supposed to do for the anniversary. Like with some of the community events, we just don't really know what to do for you guys. We don't know how to celebrate this project because we're so transparent and so open. You can ask us anything anytime. You can send and we'll show off your art. We will show off the game and try and talk about things whenever possible. So how do we celebrate this community? How do we celebrate this game? We've done wallpapers, we've done profile pictures just willy-nilly, so it might not feel like a celebration. So it's a real tough one. How would you guys want to celebrate Obit for the anniversary, which is only in a couple of days, but we could just maybe say that we delay it this year.
And before we forget next year.
Okay, yeah, and then we'll forget next year, and then who knows? Okay, look, we just need something in place. We need to think about something. So that leads me to think about, what about live stream events? I do have one community idea where you guys create the pizza guy or pizza man or pizza woman character. So similar to what Imai did previously, we start a live stream, we talk about the character and like, oh, they make massive pizzas in their igloo, yada yada, and then you guys help create the character using items that you guys can come up with that you think would be in the EBF future of 2012. You can take some of the items from the old catalogs and, we can try and decide whether they should go in or not. So would you guys be up for live stream events like that? Should we do it as a Discord stage event instead? But yeah, it's kind of hard to celebrate this project. And on Toxic's character card, we have no clue on what to do on how to expand it either. I'm kind of regretting adding that question to the character card survey. Because the issue is the EBF timeline is not concrete, and Antarctic is a major plot point in the Obit story. So, yeah. So we need your suggestions. We need your help. Now we go on to some community character cards. These are all by Jaded Paws. We've got the Aberration Apricity, who's peeking behind a rock. We have the False Dragon Wave, which looks really cool with a reflection. And we have False Hope Finch, which was a quick one they managed to whip out in like the last day or something for this showcase, which was really cool.
Apparently, Finch is EBF Herbert's kid or something. This is part of the EBF timeline.
Oh. Okay. My brain is spiraling with what that means. And what Finch's whole role in the EBF future would be and stuff like that. So that's crazy. We have the false dragon as well, who I think they were tricked into believing they were a dragon of the dojo, and then later get found out. But yeah, these are all really cool. And Jade has done a really awesome time with it, and I'm thankful they've been joining in the VCs and talking about them and showing off these cool cards and the lore behind them and stuff like that. It's been really fun. And then we have the art showcase. For the one you've all been waiting for. Who cares about all these updates when we can have all the art? So, we have new curtains. I didn't even realize the curtains in the old art showcase were not the new ones. It's been so long. We made them immediately after. And we also have this cool badge I made for Dev's Choice. So, Dev's Choice is basically, this is our favorite one from the last one. It doesn't mean it's the best. It doesn't mean that it's just what we personally like. So, great job, Victor, for this cool humanoid EBF rookie.
Yeah.
On the neon green background. And then we move over to Bones, a returning artist in the community. They've got their EBF OC with, is this Dot, I think?
Yeah, it's Dot.
With Dot just jamming out. And then, who's this human? Is this humanoid?
Yeah, it's humanoid Dot.
Humanoid Dot. Whoa, that's crazy. She looks cool.
She does look sick.
How are these headphones twisting like this, by the way? Are they break them?
My headphones can do that.
Yeah, but not the headphones in Club Penguin.
Who knows? Maybe they can.
Maybe. Just untwist it a little bit. Easy. Yeah, really cool sketches. And then we have Herbert. Oh, who's this by? Did you not manage to get a username for this?
I think I asked and they didn't have one.
Okay.
There's just someone called Herbert on the Discord.
It's just someone called Herbert. Maybe it's the real Herbert. He's just crayoned EBF guy. Looking mighty mad.
I think this is from a program called Wiggle Paint.
Wiggle Paint?
Yeah, you just draw and it animates as you're drawing it.
Oh, okay. What does Guy have on his shoulder? I'm looking at this at the bottom left, and I just don't know what it is.
I don't know. I think it was an attempt at robot parts.
Okay. Because to me, it's just making me think he's got the hairiest arm in the world. Which is kind of great. I do like it a lot. And then we have Blair. I'm guessing this is EBF Dot again.
Yeah.
Yeah, just blaring at us. And then we have Jaded Paws coming in with some submissions. Okay. One of these I've blocked currently because it has a weapon involved and the slightest bit of blood. I know the Club Penguin community is basically all over 13 by now, but we still want to respect that Club Penguin is a child audience. So if you are a child, please skip ahead just a little bit. If you're not a child, don't worry, it ain't that bad. And we'll reveal it in 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If there's any children here, you're a bad child. There we go. This very innocent depiction of Herbert getting stabbed in the back. But he's getting stabbed in the back, and that's kind of... But yes. And we also have Herbert as a fairy. Should this have been his Halloween costume? Is this truly what he would have worn? We could make that one of the Herbert plushies.
God.
What do you think? For the Herbert plushie merch line, we have Fairy Herbert.
That'd be kind of funny.
That would be kind of funny. And then next we have some more of Bones' artwork. Bones has just been carrying the art show today. I think this was after the whole pizza guy idea that we talked about in VC. We have Bones' EBF OC just snacking on some pizza. What type of pizza is this? It's got some triangles. Oh, those are squids, right? The blue squids.
Yeah.
Nice. Looks great. He looks nice and chibi. And the green puffer looks great as well. And then we got the OC just panicked. What has he seen? What has they seen?
I think it's based on a meme.
Oh, right, okay.
It's the guy pointing at himself meme.
Oh, okay. I thought he just saw the audience. It was like, oh, people? Yeah, looks really great, really great. And then we have final one is more of Bones, and I think this is their... Is this that OC or is this that EBF OC?
I think it's their EBFOC.
That EBF OC, who I think is like a shapeshifter?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're just spraying EBF Gary with a fire hydrant. Hey, wake up.
Foaming him.
Just foaming him.
He is not going to be happy about that.
He's not going to be happy. That character, whatever their name is going to have to go running after doing this.
They're going to get fired.
They are going to get fired. And that's the art showcase. All the art slides will be available as a separate post after this one. And yeah, thank you for everyone who submitted. Everyone who submits art in the Discord or reblogs it to us on Tumblr, we will ask you if you want it to be in the art showcase for next time, but we do gradually collect it. I say we. Imai gradually collects it whilst I'm doing other things. Imai gradually collects it on the side, so it can all be compiled for us. So yeah, that's been the update. Hopefully the update's been pretty cool. And yeah, thanks for watching. Discord activities and community contributions are always open. Ask us anything, anytime. Join our Discord in our YouTube bio or in the Tumblr post or in the Blue Sky post, wherever you want to join. Thank you so much.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.